If you're thinking it might be the right time to start looking for a home in the Durham region, you've probably noticed a shift in the market. While we're not technically in a full-on buyer's market, it's definitely a lot more balanced. And one of the greatest benefits to purchasing in a market like this is not having to compromise so much on the important things. There are some universal things that make most people say, I don't know if I want to buy a house with fill in the blank. You always want to be thinking resale value. Even if you hope to be in this home until you go into a nursing home, life changes. You might end up taking that job offer in another city, have an unexpected fourth baby, or any other number of reasons you might decide that you actually want to move again. And at the end of the day, even if this is a home that you're in for a very long time, it's still nice to have an easier time selling when the time comes. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you 4 things that should make you pause before you sign on the dotted line, so that if and when it comes time for you to sell again, your house is more desirable to other buyers, easier to sell, and more likely to go up in value. My name is Vilija Truelove. I'm a local Durham Region real estate agent, and I'd love to hear from you. If you're moving to or within the Durham region, you can set up an appointment through my calendar link, which is in the description below, or send me a text or an email and we can get the process started. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Now, one other thing I want to add here. Sometimes you're working with a limited budget, and in many cases, it's a good idea to purchase what you can afford and then upgrade over time once you've built some equity, rather than chasing the market. So maybe the house you can afford has some of the things that I mentioned here. I'm not saying never buy a home with these issues. I'm saying be aware that resale value can be affected by them. Also, if you're able to do some renovations and change some of these issues, it's possible that you will drastically increase the resale value of the home while you're living there. So with all that said, number 1 thing you might want to avoid: electric or oil heat. Here in the Durham region, the majority of homes have gas forced air heating. Sometimes you'll see electric heat, sometimes oil. Electric heat can cost you a lot more to run in the winter months, so many buyers want to stay away from it. The majority of my buyers do not even want to look at a home if it has electric heat. In colder climates, electric furnaces are less efficient because they have to work harder to produce the necessary heat. Oil is also more expensive than natural gas, and home insurance comes at a premium for homes with oil storage and appliances on site. I do find that oil doesn't seem to be as hated as electric, probably because the ductwork is there, making it easier to change it over to gas while you're living there. You're likely to pay less for a house with electric heat, but you'll also get less for it when it sells. And in a down market, they're often the houses that buyers will avoid if they have too many other options to look at. Number 2 thing to avoid: busy streets. Now, not everyone cares if they're on a busy street, and not all busy streets are the same. Mary Street in Oshawa, for example, is considered a busier through street, but it's nothing like Adelaide or Rossland or Taunton or Kingston Road. But in general, there's a lot to be said for being on a quiet street. And many people want to avoid being on a busy road. Maybe it's so that they feel safer with their kids playing in the front yard, or they just don't want the extra noise or traffic. Now, sometimes you'll find beautiful homes with huge yards on busy roads. And if you're looking for a country property, this can often be the case. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm not saying to never buy a home on a busier street. Just remember that it could affect your resale value. And when you're looking for comparable sales to determine value before you make an offer, you shouldn't be using homes on quiet streets as a comparison. Number 3 thing to avoid: weird layouts. So many things about a home can be changed. The paint color, just about everything in a kitchen or bathroom, the flooring. But layouts are a tough one. Unless you're planning on a huge renovation that includes structural work like taking out walls, you really do want to make sure the basic layout of the house isn't strange and has a good flow. What I mentioned earlier also comes into play here. If you can get a great price for a home no one else wants and renovate it to turn it into a functional and beautiful home, then it could end up being a great investment. Though you need to keep in mind that structural work is typically the most expensive kind of renovation. And if you're not looking to renovate and hope to just try and make it work, it might be best to stay away. Lastly, number 4, 2-bedroom or 1-bathroom homes. Now again, what I mentioned in the beginning of the video regarding price points and adding value to properties with updates especially comes into play with this one. If your budget only allows for a 2-bedroom home, or if the amazing neighborhood that you really want to get into is more expensive, so again, your budget only allows for a 2-bedroom, then it could be a great way to get into the market. There is a market for 2-bedroom homes. However, the majority of buyers look for 3 bedrooms plus. It's the same reason I never suggest that a buyer take away a bedroom when renovating a house. Even if you end up with this gorgeous, huge master suite, your pool of buyers is limited at 2 bedrooms. For the same reason, 1 bathroom is an issue for a lot of people. 2 bathrooms is a minimum for the majority of my buyers. Now, it's a lot easier to add a bathroom in most cases than it is to add a bedroom. So if you have an unfinished basement and you can add that 3-piece bathroom down there when you go to finish it, you will add a lot of value to the house. You just have to be able to live with the 1 bathroom in the meantime, which is not always easy when there's several people living in the house. So that finishes off my list. If you're starting to think about buying a home, you likely have questions, and I'd love to help. Set up a consultation through my calendar link, and I'll answer all your questions and go through the home buying process with you. I'm here to help. Thanks so much for watching.